All right, we're trying that again. This is take 2 of the live stream tonight, and it's all my fault. You see, when I go live, if I have 4K turned on, my computer does not like that at all, and I accidentally left it on. I record in 4K, stream in 1080, and I forgot. Anyway, we are good now. The connection is in excellent condition. We're going to be fine, and we are back. Okay, OTAs is this week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We're going to hear from Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid on Thursday. Maybe get some social media clips sprinkled in from the Chiefs social team throughout the week. They don't show a lot. They did show some Chiefs players walking in, and that's really all we got. But we are back. I'm not going to share everything again. The connection is fine this time. That's on me. That is on me. What's up, Marcus? In the house. Doggy, I know. Get Tech9 to let you use their song, Cole. Ooh. Red Kingdom. That'd be a good one. Yeah, heck yeah. Shout out to Tech9. I'm just farming for likes or farming the likes. No, I had to end the stream, deactivate or private that one, and here we are again. This is round 2. This is round 2, but the connection is fine now. We good. That's how I'm rusty. It's the offseason. We're all rusty out here. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on who you think are going to be some standout players at OTAs, who you're hoping to see shine. Again, this is the first time the rookies and the vets are kind of going to be intermingling, and the rookies are going to be kind of just thrown in there from time to time. It's 7-on-7, 11-on-11, no contact allowed or anything like that. It's actually not legal, and teams can get fined. But I'm still intrigued to see how it goes. This is all we got in the offseason. This is OTAs, mandatory minicamp mid-June, and then training camp. This is all we got to look forward to because free agency's over, the draft's over. There can be some free agent signings still. It's going to be depth pieces, camp bodies, maybe some veterans get signed a little bit later. Football analysis in the chat. You think Mahomes will stand out? I hope so. You already know. You did a super chat in the last live stream. Did you miss it? I did, Kyle, because my stream went down. Just tell me what you said in chat, brother, and I'll read it. Just say it right here. I apologize. I think you sent a five bomb potentially. You're watching me in the Royals? Well, go Royals. Let's go. Cole, do you eat La Tiara taco shells? They're coming back. They're coming back? Yeah, those are what we call air biscuits. They're the super thin taco shells from the Kansas City area. I think they went bankrupt, or I thought the parents that ran it retired, but they're coming back. I need that. We need Simmons to come through, said Marcus. Oh, heck yeah, man. I mean, they're in a good spot where you have Jalen Moore on the 2-year deal. If Josh Simmons starts to shine and outperforms Jalen Moore, maybe he is the starting left tackle at some point this season. But I think Simmons is your left tackle for years to come, so there's no need to try to force anything early. Make sure that the knee is good, that the knee is good, that the knee is good to the third power before throwing him out there, and then let's run it. Are the Chiefs moving to Kansas? I mean, there's a chance that they do move to the Kansas side of the state line. We won't really know for a little while. Missouri is trying to combat their own version of the star bonds that Kansas has offered, which really helps the cost of building a stadium on the Kansas side. Missouri's trying to do something. I don't know what ends up happening. The leases aren't up until 2031, so there's a lot of posturing going on from both sides of the state. But just know we might hear some updates on where the Chiefs could be going, or the Royals could be going here soonish, by the end of this year even. But none of that's happening for quite a while. 2031. 2031 is when the leases are up. Now, they'll start building before then. Yeah, they will start building before then. Kyle, let me know. I don't see your comment, but I was looking. Just let me know. Time for Patrick and Travis to have a talk with Andy Reid about getting back to who they were in the past and stop being stubborn and run the ball. Well, they never really ran the ball in the Patrick Mahomes era. They've been bottom 5 in the league since having Patrick Mahomes, because he's one of the best quarterbacks to ever play the game. So they like to pass the ball. Now, an extension of their run game is going to be the jet sweeps, the bubble screens, the quick passes. Those kind of things are an extension of the run in Andy Reid's offense. But I do agree that If you can get a more explosive run game going, it's going to open up the pass game, kind of a domino effect. And if the running back room just looks better than it did last year because of injuries and signing Kareem Hunt off the couch, that's only going to help things for sure. And then if Rice doesn't go down first couple weeks, Hollywood doesn't go down the first play of preseason, that's going to help the passing game, and it should all help each other as well. It's all cyclical. Here's what I said. Just one more week until this month is over. Sorry for being negative, but May was nothing but pain. Hey, man, I'm sorry to hear that, but you're right. New month, new chapter. Let's go. I'm sorry that it was not the easiest month, man. You'd rather have Chiefs in KC area, just not Missouri. Don't want them moving to St. Louis or something. Nah, I'd be pretty surprised if the Chiefs left the KC area. I think whether the future for the Chiefs is to stay at Arrowhead, which I would really like. It's an iconic stadium for a reason. The way that they built that stadium, you can't build them like that anymore. And it really helps with the acoustics, and why part of the reason why it's so loud is because how the stadium was built. You're going to lose that if you move. Now, will Chiefs Kingdom still be loud as hell? Of course. But some of that is structural, how the stadium was actually built. Now, it's older. It needs some upgrades. The practice facilities for sure needs it. I would like them to stay there, but obviously if there's other people that don't care and they're like, give them a state-of-the-art stadium. They deserve it. State-of-the-art stadium. They deserve it. They've been winning. If you get a stadium that allows for a roof, the Super Bowl could come to Kansas City, and it never will without it. I get the points. Whether or not they stay at Arrowhead, move to some other spot in Missouri, or they go to the Kansas side, Legends area or something like that, as long as they stay in the Kansas City area, that's most important to me. Just please. I don't want to see them in a whole nother city, like way far away or something crazy. James with the 30 months. Hey, look, I'm special with the 30 months. The resident Broncos fan. What's up, man? If the Chiefs left and a new football team came to your area, would you stay a Chiefs fan? I don't think that's going to happen. So it's a really, I don't think, very serious hypothetical. I would probably, though, just stay a Chiefs fan. I mean, that's what we've always been. So, but if they moved and another NFL team came to KC, that's a great question. I don't know what I would do. I don't think it's going to happen. We need Jerry Jones to give us some money. Come on, Jerry. Your back had to make a pizza. You didn't miss much, Fat Dill, because I had to end the stream and start over. But we back, and this connection has been solid the whole time. If I stream in 1080, it's fine. It's definitely fine. June is the month of the witch? I'll be celebrating my 26th anniversary on my 29th birthday. Of your 29th birthday? The 26th anniversary. Okay. I see what you're saying, Witchy. I was like, hold on a second. What am I reading? I love Arrowhead. It has an acoustical advantage. It definitely does, Stanley. The only disadvantage is it cannot handle the concessions and bathroom lines to get the fans back to their seats before the start of the third quarter. Yeah, there's some definite, there's nothing around Arrowhead either. There's Denny's. Maybe Denny's burned down. A Taco Bell. A hotel. So if you put it somewhere like Legends, you're still going to have traffic issues, but you got all that stuff around there. It's a great location. I grew up by the Legends. When I lived in that area, it was just farmland, and then it slowly became what it is today, which is pretty cool. But yeah, there's pros and cons to keeping it at Arrowhead. It's just very iconic. Yeah, gas station, very iconic stadium, one of the oldest in the league. And when you just look at the history of it, with Lamar and all that stuff, it's nostalgic, and it's got a lot of historical relevance and value. But again, we'll see what ends up happening. This all spawned because somebody said, do I think the Chiefs will move to Kansas or Missouri? We don't have to talk about it too long because we just don't know. We don't know what's going to happen, but Missouri's trying to do their thing and entice the Chiefs to stay. They're going to be talking with viewers or suitors from both sides of the line and make a decision here in the next year or so, because you've got to plan it out, get stuff built. It's going to take a long time. So we'll see. You've been to a lot of big sports stadiums, and the traffic getting in and out of Arrowhead is some of the worst. I have never been, to be honest with you, I've never been to another NFL stadium, so I wouldn't know. But yeah, getting out of Arrowhead is very tough. A lot of land around the KC Speedway and Hollywood Casino. Very true. Yeah, there is. I'd rather they upgrade Arrowhead, but voters need to approve that. they'll have tons of more parking if the Royals move. That is something. If the Royals move and that's not there, could you get out in some other directions over there too? Could the parking be a little bit more fanned out? Could it be better? Yes. We'll see. For the first 5 minutes of every third quarter, the seats are empty and we lose that 12th man advantage. Well, yeah, that's unfortunate. Are the Chiefs going to win the Super Bowl this year? I mean, I hope so, Eddie. I just had an interview with Matt Verderam of Sports Illustrated, and he's very confident that the Chiefs have a really good chance of making it back again to their 6th Super Bowl appearance in 5 years? Because when you look at the state of the AFC, the Bills didn't get astronomically better. The Ravens pretty much stayed the same, and those are your 2 biggest threats. As long as the Chiefs stay healthy, they're going back to the Super Bowl, and they really defied the odds last year. Were really injured, were really banged up, and they still made it to the Super Bowl in spite of that. All the close games, the ugliness, the 1-score, 2-point wins, 3-point wins, 1-point wins. It's because you had all these injuries and a revolving door at the left tackle spot, and the Chiefs were just surviving, man. They were just doing enough to survive and make it to the next week, and they ended up making it to the Super Bowl. You beat the Texans, you beat the Bills in the AFC Championship, you go back to the Super Bowl. Yes, the Eagles did their thing and stomped them. But in spite of all the injuries, you still made it back again, right? I think if you just stay healthy, the odds of going back to the Super Bowl are high. Because even banged up and getting guys back that weren't 100%. Minihue was not 100% after the ACL. Pacheco wasn't 100% coming back off the ankle. Jalen Watson wasn't 100% coming back off the ankle. Hollywood Brown came back, but they weren't integrating him in the offense how they were going to plan on using him before he went down to injury that first play of preseason. Rice was out for the season. I mean, there was a lot going on there in regards to injuries that the Chiefs just made it work and made it back to the Super Bowl. So if you could just stay a little bit more healthy, get the injury luck back on your side, which has really been in the Chiefs' favor year in and year out in recent years. We've talked about it quite a bit on the channel. The Chiefs have had more deep playoff runs than anybody since Mahomes took over as a starter, yet they've still managed to, except for last year, be one of the healthiest teams in the league. Now, they weren't the Lions. They didn't have 13 or whatever players placed on IR last year, but they were more banged up, much more banged up than usual, especially key starters. What do you think about Taylor moving to left guard and Simmons, I guess you mean being right tackle? I think Taylor's a tackle, but if you want to throw him in the competition for the left guard spot, I mean, I guess it's possible, but I think Taylor's probably your right tackle, and then Simmons is going to be depth. Jalen Moore's on the left side. They can move on from Taylor after this year. I don't think Taylor's safe to remain the starter for the entire season if they're tired of the flags or he just starts struggling or something. But to be honest, aside from the flags last year, there were some decent stretches in the season where he played pretty well. He was a serviceable right tackle. The issue was really the left tackle and left guard spot. Once you kick Joe Thuney outside, Mike Caliendo was left guard. Now, the battle for the left guard spot, it's a great question. Is it going to be Kingsley? Is it going to be Caliendo? What about, there's a couple other guys that they drafted last year or went undrafted. CJ Hansen is a guy. Ethan Driscoll. I think Driscoll is primarily a tackle. I'm closing my eyes to really focus on these names because it's been a minute. But CJ Hansen could be a guy you mix into the interior. They just signed another guard that has a little bit of NFL experience like a couple weeks ago. His name escapes me off the top of my head. But yeah, that's the biggest question mark to me in this offense is the left guard spot. You know, who's that gonna be? And it's not gonna be as good as Joe Thuney. No matter who they have, it's not going to be as good as Joe Thuney, and we know that because Joe Thuney was one of the best guards in football. And he's a Bear. He's gone. He's a Bear. He got traded. The Eagles are full of themselves for my liking. They'll be humbled this year. I mean, I said it when the Eagles won the Super Bowl, man. I said they get bragging rights all offseason long. Now, is a lot of people sick of it because it's been several months? Yeah, but the Chiefs won the last 2 before this, and what did we do? I can't speak for everybody in Chiefs Kingdom, but I had a lot of fun with it. Off and on, all off season long. So, yeah, Eagles fans are having fun. They're trolling, and they just get the bragging rights. That's just what we did, you know? So it's unfortunate that the game ended the way it did, but can't really say anything other than GG's. They got a super talented roster. Howie Roseman's one of the best GMs in the game. On X, I saw some people saying Kelsey is not at OTAs and Chiefs are not happy. It was just a troll post, KC. Yeah, it was just a troll post. Yeah, not true. Kelsey's there. There's no issues. It's all good. Cole, you're expected to have fun with it because you're a YouTuber? I'm just a fan like you guys, so we have fun with it. You can still troll around and have fun and poke fun back depending on the team, but when it comes to the Eagles, man, it's just like, I got nothing to say in the sense of like, what am I going to say back? Other than GG's, man. You guys earned that win. Have fun celebrating this offseason, and we'll see you week 2 this season. Like, they got the dub there, and that's just how it goes. Now, it doesn't negate anything that the Chiefs have done for the past 5 to 7 years in the sense of like, they're still a dynasty. Mahomes is still the best quarterback in the NFL. There's still going to be a problem this year. They're favorites to win the AFC, most likely again. Favorites to make it back to the Super Bowl. Like, none of that is changing. What happened in the Super Bowl was just the Chiefs were banged up. They went in there and they got outcoached and outplayed. The Eagles took advantage of some of the weaknesses that other teams hadn't been able to exploit because of the quick passing game, even with Joe Thuney out there at the left tackle spot. And they didn't blitz one time. When you're not blitzing and and your goal is to take away Mahomes' first read, when in the weeks prior to that, that was what they were doing. Snap the ball, get it out to the first read, and just move, dink and dunk down the field. And they took that away. We don't have to talk about that for much longer by any means. Mike with the 24 months. Let's go. Actually, hold on. I need a backup. Darrell with the 5 or whatever players we need a t-shirt for Hunt that says they took me off the couch. Yeah, exactly. Kareem Hunt was one of them. There were others too. I'm trying to think of who off the top of my head. Who else they signed like during the season? I mean, there was just a lot of people they added that wasn't the plan. They traded for D-Hop. You signed Juju at some point before the season after Hollywood went down. Yeah, I mean, Kareem Hunt, if I didn't already say that. There's definitely a few. You then signed Steven Nelson. He didn't actually end up playing in a game, but you signed him for the cornerback room depth. Marcus with the 5. Have we done May's member or Zoom yet? We have not, and we'll probably do it later this week. We have until Saturday. I'm really thinking about a Friday night one, but I'll get back with you because the last day of May is Saturday, but it's a little bit of a weird week because of OTAs. So I think Thursday is when I would normally do them, but Andy Reid and Mahomes are speaking to the media. I'm just not sure how late that night will be for me. So I'm a little hesitant, but I will definitely plan it in advance and let you guys know. But yeah, thanks for the 2. Casey, yeah, with the 5. That was just a troll post, man. That's a known troll account. Mike Tilson with the 24 months. What's up, dude? Thank you. Hope all is well. Looking forward to another great Chiefs season with the red beard. Let's go. Heck yeah. The only guaranteed loss is week 12. Chiefs should just forfeit and get ready for the Cowboys. Chiefs 2025 schedule. I don't have them all memorized here. Let me... Who's week 12? I'm scared. The Colts. No. The Indianapolis Colts, week 12. That team is cursed, man. Somebody just asked today on Twitter. It was a question of what's something you could say as a Chiefs fan without... Here's what it is. Let me show you. So this guy, Daily Chiefs. Tell me you're a part of Chiefs Kingdom without telling me you're a part of Chiefs Kingdom. He said, I'll start. I'm still mad at D Ford. I said the Colts still give me night terrors. Just because of the playoff losses to them throughout the years, including one that I remember vividly where the Chiefs had a 28-point lead and they ended up losing. I couldn't believe it, man. I was so happy at halftime. And then me, my dad, and my brother, we were just like, what the is happening? Good God, man. That game was crazy. The Colts one is true. Yeah, they really have the Chiefs' number quite a bit. Now, have the Chiefs beat them more recently? Yes. Did they beat them in the playoffs pretty badly the last time they played in like 2019? Yes. Hey, Marcus. Thanks so much for the 2-bomb, bro. On Cash App. Let's go. And you sent me a Cash App last week, too. Let's go. Thank you, man. Somebody said, I think that was, what? Who was that? Chiefs blow 28-point lead? I thought that was that not luck? It all kind of blends, man. I thought it was luck. Pretty sure it was in 2014. Or was it? I thought it was luck. I'm almost positive. Yeah, it was luck. Because at that time, Manning was a Bronco, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. I think that's one of those games where it's like, I watched it all and I was like, I'm never thinking about this game again. I didn't think about it for a long time. You're not ready for Travis to retire? I don't think any of us are. No, not really. Sorry I'm late. Oh, it's all good, SL. Is Kelsey retiring? I mean, there's nothing confirmed. Many believe that this is Kelsey's last season, 13th year in the NFL. Kevin, we've lost 2 in a row with Mahomes to Jacoby Brissett and old ragdoll Matt Ryan. The Colts curse is real. Yeah, I think the Matt Ryan one, that was the end game when Chris Jones got flagged for abusive language. That was going to be 4th down, I think. And it extended the drive, 1st down. They ended up scoring a touchdown, ultimately winning the game. Now, that's also the game, I believe, that Sky Moore muffed a punt inside the 10-yard line, and the Colts recovered and ended up scoring a touchdown on that next series. Just an unfortunate series of events there. What's up, FLDB? In the house? You are all correct, or I'm correct. Let's go. I don't like being correct about the Colts. Not at all. You think the Chiefs will do good this year? Yeah, Kansas City. I think they probably win 13-ish games. Probably one of the top seeds in the AFC, and then another deep playoff run. Until they prove me wrong, that's the expectation. That's the floor is overtime in the AFC Championship game. Show us different. And I don't want them to, but until they show us something else, that is my expectations. The Chiefs are going to the AFC Championship game. Sky failed us. I mean, he should have never been thrown back there as a punt returner. Nah. He was not ready for it. Now, has he really struggled in every other aspect of the game too? I mean, yeah, but don't put the guy back there on punts. Can't do it. I'll never forget when Tobe, there was a couple injuries and Tobe sent him back there later in the season and Sky was like, I don't want to go out there. And Tobe was like, we don't have anybody else. So you're going out there. And it was actually a playoff game. I don't know if it was the AFC Championship. Can't remember which game it was, but he had a pretty good punt return up the right side. It was actually a pretty good one. But yeah, we were all nervous about it. Metal Rocker with the 10 months. Let's go. Hey there, Cole. Great to see you again. Heck yeah. Is the membership Zoom call going to be this Thursday? I enjoyed watching your recent videos. Let's go, man. It's going to be sometime this week for sure. I'm still figuring it out because the Chiefs have OTAs today, tomorrow, and Thursday. We might just say, forget it and do it tomorrow, but I'll keep you posted. We need a returner. We haven't had a spark there in a while. Yeah, I mean, Nico Remigio's the returner, and he had a couple of nice returns, but he's not like Dante Hall, Tyreek Hill in that sense. I think he's probably the returner this year. Once again, I mean, Brashard Smith, Jalen Royals, they didn't really return punts in college. They returned some kickoffs. I still think it's probably Nico. Do you guys agree? I'm not really sure who else it could be that could really surpass Nico or Mihio as the team's punt returner. You need a reliable guy back there, and he's been pretty reliable. Meg said, wow, Cole, I don't remember Sky saying he didn't want to go to the field for the punt return. Yeah, it was after he already muffed like 3 punts that season. They kind of pulled him from punts, but a couple injuries happened. I think it might have been the AFC Championship, and there was a lot of injuries. Justin Watson was injured. Kadarius Toney was injured. McCole Hardman was injured. I mean, those are your three punt returners. And so it was Sky that had to go return, and he's like, I don't feel comfortable going out there. He just lost confidence because he muffed 3 punts on the year. Nico would be best. Yeah, I think it's Nico. Give him another year. Mandy said, who the hell knows at this point? Yeah, it is early. But I just look at the roster and I'm like, there's not a lot of guys in the receiver room, even the running back room, that you're like, oh yeah, he has a bunch of punt return experience. This could really give Nico or Mihio a run for his money. I'm not saying Nico is 1,000% a lock, but right now I have him making the roster as the team's returner and a depth piece on offense. Is Kadarius Toney still a free agent? Yes, sir. Yes, he is. He still wants to play football from what I understand, but he's got to get through his legal issues he's got going on a little bit. Injury city for the last 2 seasons. Yeah, last year was really bad. The AFC Championship, those 2 or 3 years ago, whenever that was, there was just a lot of people banged up. That was Sky's rookie year. So I think that was like 2022. I think it's the game the Chiefs beat the Bengals by 3 points. When Mahomes got shoved out of bounds like late and he got the flag. Joseph Osai with the flag. Nefarious with the 10 bomb. I'm looking forward to your OTA coverage. Those are my favorite vids you did last few years before the season starts. That's why I became a follower of yours in the first place. Sky plus punt return equals yips. Well, thank you, Nefarious. Let's go. Yeah. You'll have OTA coverage, mini camp coverage, training camp coverage as we gear up for the season. Yeah, Badger is one. Elijah Badger, did he have punt return experience? Let me get the spelling right, and I'll look him up on PFF. Elijah Badger return stats. So he had 20 kickoffs in college, but I don't think he returned punts. Let me make sure. I'm looking here. Yeah, he didn't return any punts in college at all. That's what I'm saying. Like, you have guys with some return experience. I think Jalen Royals, Brashard Smith, and Elijah Badger have all returned kickoffs, but not really any punts. I don't think he returned punts. Maybe he did. Here's why I'm a little confused, because you might be saying, hey, Cole, you're wrong. Here's what I'm looking at. Look at this. There's no stats here for Elijah Badger on punt returns. It's all zeros, but if I double check on PFF, maybe he did have some punt return experience. And that is a way, I'll look him up on PFF and check his return stats, but that is a way that Elijah Badger, somebody like that, it's a UDFA that the Chiefs signed, could find himself making the roster. Because, yeah, I think this was weird. I feel like when the Chiefs initially signed Badger, I looked him up and I was like, oh, he doesn't have any return experience. But I think there was a little bit of discrepancies in his stats depending on where you looked. So I'm going back to the NCAA. We're going back to special teams because now I'm really curious. He definitely had... No, he didn't have any punt returns. He had 0 in college. Anyway, I was trying to get to the bottom of it. Let's go 4 years in a row to the Super Bowl. I'll take that, Michael, all day. What do you think of Brenningstool? Yeah, Jake Brenningstool out of Clemson. Think he could be tight end 2. I don't know about this year, Bill, per se, because you probably are going to have that real tight 1-2 combo between Travis Kelce and Noah Gray. I will say this, though, where Brenningstool could make a push for the roster is as that tight end 3 if Jared Wiley is still not recovered from the ACL. They do have, I believe it's Robert Tonyan on the roster. And he's a veteran, 7-8 year veteran. I'm gonna double check that. I'm just on the Chiefs roster right now on their website. Yeah, Robert Tonyan, he's a 7-year vet. He had a pretty solid 2020 season with the Packers, over 500 receiving yards. He could contribute. But if Jared Wiley, it's a Chiefs rookie from last year that tore his ACL late in the season, early November, if he's not yet cleared and maybe starts the season on the PUP list, I really could see somebody like Jake Brenningstool sneaking into the roster as a tight end 3 or 4. Kelce, Gray, and then it could be Brenningstool, maybe Robert Tonyan. Noah's up there in age, isn't he? He's 26, so not really. The average age of a tight end in the NFL is 27 and a half. I mean, so he's not like a young buck, but he just got off of his rookie deal and he's on his 2-3 year extension that the Chiefs signed him to just last season, right before the start of last year. Are you getting any jerseys for this upcoming season? Maybe, Chris. We'll probably be back with some Chiefs Bids ads for sure. Let me see. We moved along with Patrick Mahomes, brother. Wait, what? What? You're probably talking to somebody in the comments. UDFA majors can handle returns. Ooh, that's right. He's a guy. The safety. He interviewed with Chief Concerns. Yeah, Major Williams. He's the rookie out of Carson Newman, undrafted. UDFA, the Chiefs signed to the 90. He does actually have punt return experience. He's one of the few. That's where you could find somebody making a push for Nico Remigio on the roster. But I think Nico probably has the edge. But yes, Major Williams did have some really nice punt return experience in college. You thought Noah was older? Oh, it's all good, man. Noah acts older in the sense of he seems like an old soul at heart. Just kind of chill, puts his head down, and works. He's not getting overly excited on the field. He just does his job and goes over there, goes and sits down. Imagine last minute trade and boom, here comes Tyreek Hill. Dude, a Tyreek Hill return would be pretty wild. Now, yeah, Noah's mature, not old. He's like an old soul, on the inside. That's all I was saying. Which really is just saying I feel like he's pretty mature for his age. 26? That's pretty young. Tyreek Hill, I mean, the Dolphins contract, they would be eating a lot of money to move on from Tyreek Hill. I don't think they'd do it this year. Now, could you see Tyreek Hill return in a year or two and retire a Chief? For sure. No Hill. Hill's too old. He's 30, be 31 this year. I understand he's had enough drama, too much drama for some people. I get that for sure. So ready for the season, said Zach. Mahomes looks like he's been pushing himself even harder, as many of them have in training already. Going to be a good year. And a Brazil game and flag football Olympics. Yeah, it's in 2028, the Olympics, but we'll take it. We will take it. Can you guys answer me an honest question? Because some people make me feel like I'm crazy when I say this. NFL players would beat the brakes off flag football players in a flag football game. Why do some people act like that's a hot take? If you did a all NFL flag football team against the USA national flag football team, put them up against each other, NFL players are going to dominate. Are you serious? Lamar Jackson's going to walk in there blindfolded and run circles around everybody. What are we doing? Jamar Chase? Justin Jefferson? Saquon? Jahmyr Gibbs? Are we serious? When I say that, it's because the whole debate's been going around about NFL players being allowed to play in the Olympics. And Darrell Doucette III, he's the quarterback for the U.S. national, or just the U.S. flag football team right now. You know, he's kind of just saying, hey, put some respect on our names. We deserve a chance to play in the Olympics too, which I agree with. But then he said, we're good at what we do. We don't need anybody else. You're telling me NFL players aren't going to go and elevate a flag football roster? You're telling me they wouldn't make them better? Flag football players wanted to play in the NFL and make millions of dollars, could not make it, and now play flag football. If an NFL player goes to play flag, I understand it's a different sport, but if they practice, you're telling me they're not going to help the team? Okay, I'm going to read some comments now because I want to get your thoughts on this. What about PS2? Sure. I mean, I didn't even talk about defensive guys. It is not a hot take. It's a fact. Absolutely, NFL players are better. Flag football, guys are pansies. Yeah, they would absolutely crush it in flag football. The best of the best go to the NFL because of the money. I want to see them go at it, man. I would love to watch the U.S. national flag football team go up against an all-NFL flag football team and just see who wins. If the NFL players just take it serious and don't treat it like some backyard scrimmage, like they come onto the field with like after drinking 5 Coors Lights just to jack around, they're winning that game. They're winning the game. Do you think we'll end up being left guard? I will answer that in a second. Let me we'll finish up the flag football conversation and then pivot off that. Is flag football going to be learned about injuries? Yeah, so flag football, that is the concern of NFL players being allowed to try out and potentially compete in the Olympics as injuries. That's been a concern for, I guess, every other sport, right? Hockey, baseball, basketball. Non-contact injuries are a thing. It could happen. It's a risk that you would have to take, but it's only one player allowed from each team, and some of those players aren't even going to risk it. Like, some of the all-star guys, they're probably not going to go. They're probably not going to play. They're going to protect themselves, but it would still be fun. I knew you were going here. Yes, we would smoke them, said Darrell with the 5. It's a different type of technique. No, and I agree with you, Zinks. And that's the argument of people saying, nah, what are we doing? NFL players wouldn't beat a flag football team. They can't just walk out there with 0 practice and not take it serious and win. But dude, if they were trying to make the Olympic team and some of those guys took it serious, they are absolutely making the Olympic team, and they are absolutely making a difference to help the team win gold, in my opinion. Are the players playing both ways? I don't think so, because you can have 10 guys. Yeah, you can have 10 guys. All NFL teams will demolish flag football teams. No joke, said Mary. Or with the 32 months. Let's go, man. Philip with the 2 bomb said, do you think we'll go 15-2 this season? I do not. They probably win like 13, 14 games. There's some really tough games this year. And remember, the Chiefs won some kind of wild ending games last year. Now, could they go 15-2 this season? Absolutely. Do I think so? Nah. They probably lose a game to a team they shouldn't. And then you've got the Bills, you've got the Eagles, you've got the Commanders, you've got the Chargers twice, the Broncos twice. I mean, those are going to be some tough games. They probably win 13 or 14, which is about average for the Mahomes era, which is very above average in the NFL. And we'll get back to a couple more, but there's a flag football one here from Nefarious with the 5. NFL flag team versus USA Nationals would be like asking college level team to play against a high school team and expect the high school team to compete. Hey, that's what I say. But when I post like that, there are multiple comments on my X account disagreeing with me. And I'm just baffled by it. I'm like, what are we doing? It's like Usain Bolt going back to the college levels, prime Bolt, and racing somebody over there. As long as he takes it serious, he's winning. Are we serious? we gonna say, well, they have a chance too. No, they're getting smoked. They're getting smoked. That's what would happen. That's what would happen. All right, let me back up. Uri with the 32 months. Thanks again, man. Okay, JCP with the 4-bomb said, who do you think will end up being the left guard? If I had to pick right now, I'm just going to say Kingsley, just based on how the coaches have talked about him, how highly they've talked about him at the left guard spot. They really liked what they saw from him week 18 against the Broncos. And he's a second-round pick. I think they're really going to try to make that happen. If it's not Kingsley, Mike Caliendo, or what could end up happening is they sign some veteran during training camp or after roster cutdowns from the 90 to the 53. The Chiefs eye some interior offensive linemen that either get released. That's a veteran that has more than 4 accrued seasons in the NFL. If they get released, they are immediately free to sign with any team. Or if they get waived, they could be eyeing some of these interior O linemen on the waiver wire if they have less than 4 accrued seasons in the NFL. And you could look at claiming a guy. That's if they're not in love with the left guard battle. If they think they need to add to it or bring in a vet. And I wouldn't even mind if they brought in a vet. I do hope Kingsley can be that guy. He's got the raw traits to play on the O-line in the NFL. Just they pulled him so early from the tackle spot that I don't really know. I don't think it was wise to go into the season last year with Kingsley Suamataia and Wanye Morris as your 2 potential starting left tackles. You really threw Kingsley to the fire and didn't give him a fair chance. Now, they had to pull him. He was getting smoked. He just wasn't ready. But I won't even rule out Kingsley potentially being a quality tackle in the NFL one day if they develop him and give him the right chances, right? But I think he could be your left guard. That's who I'm going with. Let me know if you disagree. Who do you think the left guard's going to end up being? Let me know. Alexander with the 30 months, please help. I'm deep in enemy territory, Cincinnati, and will wear a Chiefs jersey to the amusement park, Kings Island. I need Kingdom's help. Oh, you're alone, bud. You're alone. You are behind enemy lines and you're going to wear a Chiefs jersey in Bengals land. Good luck. Good luck. Now, I'm not saying don't be proud, but you're going to get some heckling for sure. Andrew with the 21 months. Thank you so much, bro. Love the red beard badge on you. Nefarious with the 20 bomb. Here's a stat FLDB and I discovered the other day. Mahomes needs 17 wins to tie the great Lynn Dawson for most Chiefs QB wins. So if we go 14-3 this year and win the Super Bowl, he ties. How crazy is that to math out? Mahomes needs 17 wins to tie Lynn Dawson for most Chiefs QB wins. So he would have the most wins of a franchise quarterback in history in his 9th year in the NFL. I think 8th as a starter. Whoo! I will say this. What Mahomes has in his favor a little bit is the extra games, right? Because they played 14 games when Lynn Dawson was a quarterback. But Lynn Dawson played with the Chiefs for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 or 14 seasons. 14 years with the Chiefs. And he has a QB record of 94, 57, and 8. Oh, that's total. My bad. With the Chiefs, 93, 56, and 8. Yeah, that's insane. No, that's definitely insane. When you start looking up Mahomes' stats, it gets ridiculous. That's why he could retire now, right now. And he'll be top 5 all time to ever play the game. You could argue top 4, maybe top 3. Definitely even Mahomes haters, most of them would say top 5, which is why I just say top 5. That would pretty much be accepted by most people, which is crazy. He's only 29. I think he's going to be 30 at some point. That's wild. Passing Dawson would be a milestone memory. 1,000%. Kingsley's still a baby. He's very young. Kingsley didn't even play tackle in college, right? Yeah, Kingsley played tackle in college. I don't think he played guard. He didn't play any guard in college. You just might have got that mixed up, Mandy, because he didn't play any guard in college. I think the Eagles are making it back to the Super Bowl, asked David. I mean, if I had to put money down right now on the team in the NFC to make the Super Bowl, I'll probably put it down on the Eagles. Next would potentially be the Lions if they stay healthy. But that's kind of what's fun about the NFL season. You never really know how it could pan out. But no, I don't think the Eagles are going anywhere. They lost a couple pieces on defense, but I still think they're going to be fine. I think they're going to be fine. The NFC is an easier conference overall. Like when you say, hey, who are the top 5 teams in the NFL? You're probably putting the Chiefs, the Ravens, and the Bills somewhere in that top 5. The Eagles and Lions, like they might be in the top 5 as well, but just some of the best teams play in the AFC. So it's really a gauntlet, which is really a testament to how good the Chiefs are because they've got to go through Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, and all these teams to even get to the Super Bowl. And then the knock's like, oh, well, he played Brock Purdy and Jimmy G in the Super Bowl. Yeah. Did you see who they had to beat to get there? I mean, come on, dude. You can't help who the NFC team is over there. Now, this year, obviously, the Eagles ran circles around the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. But the AFC primarily is the gauntlet. When you have a team as good as the Eagles, that gives them the advantage in that conference. Who's going to stop them? Maybe the Lions if they're healthy. Dan Campbell's going for it on 4th and 3 from his own 5, and they're going to turn the ball over and lose. I mean, something like that's going to happen. Correction, those guys got to go through us. Yeah, either way. But just when you go into these deep playoff runs, you're going against Lamar, Josh Allen, some of those guys. For sure. But yeah, I think the Eagles, I think you guys would probably say the same. The Eagles are probably Super Bowl favorites in the NFC for sure. Weston with the Justin Tucker. Yeah, man, we had to retire the Justin Tucker skit. All of it, man. We had to retire it. Justin Tucker. Man. I think Justin Tucker plays in the NFL again. Right? I don't know if it's this year. He's not getting any younger. But that's a crazy situation. The Niners defense in Super Bowl 54 was crazy. Oh, yeah. I am not putting any disrespect on those teams because, yeah, they were some fantastic defenses, and that's part of the reason why they got there. But Mahomes lit up the number 1 defenses. Crazy. What's up, Caleb? How are you, man? Our season last year was wild and tough, for real. We had to beat some damn good teams to even get to the playoffs, top-tier teams to make the Super Bowl. Of course. Yeah, it was a testament to the Chiefs and their ability to adapt and survive in spite of all those injuries that they even made it back to the Super Bowl. You beat the Bills. That was your AFC favorites for a long time, or it was the Ravens. The Ravens, I mean, they looked the better team against the Bills in the divisional, but they had 3 turnovers. You ain't winning that game. You can look great, but can you show up in a playoff game? Lamar Jackson cannot. I don't know why. He's one of the best quarterbacks I've ever seen play just from like a dual threat standpoint and his ability to just kind of wow you with his athleticism in the regular season. And then when you get to the playoffs, some people cannot handle the bright lights. There's an amplified pressure, and some people cannot handle it. And I think Lamar Jackson, to some extent, is one of them. Barkley's 28 and has a significant amount of miles on him. Yeah, being such a big part of the offense, I wouldn't be surprised to see him drop off this season. Yeah, we'll definitely see. It would be helpful if he didn't have to play 80 whatever % of the snaps. It would be probably better on his body. Had to laugh that the Bills voted against the tush push. Yeah, I mean, for whatever reason, Sean McDermott said, hey, we're not fans of the tush push continuing. But yes, they did use it more than any other team aside from the Eagles. So some people are like, well, that's funny. It's kind of like, okay. But you guys used it a lot and you liked it. But for whatever reason, McDermott doesn't think it should be in the game. But again, if it's a rule, it's legal, teams are going to utilize it whether they fully agree with it or not. I get that the other side of that, it's like, well, if you think there's truly a health concern, if you think player safety is truly on the line in the tush push, why are you having your team run that play more than anybody else but the Eagles? So I understand that side of it too. Saquon will not drop off. I don't know that he drops off. I don't know that he'll have the year he did last year. I still think he'll be top running back in most stats at the end of the 2025 season. Now, the caveat to that is, as long as he stays healthy. I said the same about CMC. I think Christian McCaffrey will lead the league in pretty much every category, and then he got hurt and didn't play, like, at all, barely. So you've got to stay healthy, and that's the concern. I think that was being brought up earlier as well. He's got a lot of wear and tear on him. I agree. And you've got to watch that for sure. Who would even vote for it besides the Eagles? Well, 10 teams voted to keep it. I would have to go back and look to see who it was, but 10 teams voted to keep the tush push. You needed 24 votes to ban it, and they got 22. So you were 2 off. You got the Chiefs going 13-4 this year, possible 14-3. Yeah, that sounds about right. Are you going to do new skits for the season? I feel like I get asked that every year, Darrell, and my answer is always maybe. I'm just going to say at this point, probably not. Probably not. We will make some new Be Right Back videos, though, for the live streams. Poor Saquon. How do you top the backwards leap over another player's head? Great question. You're not topping that. Week 2 against the Eagles, about to be a game to watch. Oh, 100%. 100%.
I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait for that game. All
right, enough of that. The world will finally see Rashee, Hollywood, and Worthy on the field together. I can't wait for it, Kenneth. I talked about it in yesterday's video. That as long as Rice isn't suspended, and I think there's a chance he's not suspended at all for the 2025 season, just based on how slowly his criminal case has been. There's just no update to it. It's just slow. The Texas courts are slow. If he plays all year, he's healthy. Hollywood, Worthy, you got Royals, Juju, Kelsey. I mean, you've got the pieces. If that line holds up, it's going to be great. CMC was having a really good game and he got injured again. Yep, he banged that knee on that cold ground. Knight said, stop and think for a second. If Lamar Jackson had come in as a wide receiver or running back, not a QB, and you put a good ball control QB as Ravens starter, Lamar would be breaking more records than Mahomes? Okay, let me read this. Stop and think for a second. If Lamar Jackson had come in as a wide receiver or running back, not a QB, and you put a good ball control QB as Ravens starter, Lamar would be breaking more records than Mahomes? I don't know if I understand that. Am I going to go to the week 2 game? I don't know if I'm going to go to that game, but I'm definitely going to go to one. We were going to go last year to the Broncos game that the Chiefs won with a walk-off blocked field goal. My wife got sick that week. Yeah, CMC and Barkley got worked way hard early in their careers. 1,000%. Saquon's so fun to watch, man. I said it a lot last year. I was like, dude, this guy is insane. This guy is insane. Now, the Chiefs did a pretty decent job of stopping him in the Super Bowl, but they didn't do anything else outside of that. We have way more pieces coming into the season than we did last year. True. Now, I think the Chiefs felt like they had a good amount of pieces last year too, right? But then all the injuries happened. Brett Veach talked about it. He was like, last year, he's like, I feel good. We feel really good at the wide receiver position. Almost could say we're stacked at the wide receiver position. And then you lose Hollywood. You lose Rice. Well, not so stacked anymore. We have, read that. Juju is the best blocking wide receiver. Yeah, Juju's great, man. They use him effectively in the offense in a certain particular way, but then he can also offset Kelsey in the middle of the field as well. You're going to the Giants game. I'm hoping I don't get garbage thrown at me. Let's go, Philip. CMC got overworked by Kyle the year he got Offensive Player of the Year, so much so Elijah Mitchell and Jordan Mason never got utilized. Pretty crazy, huh? I can't remember how many years Jordan Mason was on the 49ers, but I think he was around. It's crazy. He's a Viking now. All right, so we went through the flag football debate. Seemed like most of you guys agree with me on that. We went through the left guard. Did you guys really say, other than Kingsley, who you think is going to be the left guard for this year? I mean, I think it's Kingsley. I don't really know who else you're going to have in there. Mike Caliendo? We saw that last year. Yeah, Jordan Mason showed up last year. He did. He had a pretty good year. He'd battled through a little bit of injuries himself. Fingers crossed I find some affordable, quote-unquote, affordable tickets, said Drake on, for the Thanksgiving game in Dallas. Ooh, Wanye Morris. Yeah, you've got Hunter Norzad. You also have CJ Hansen that you could throw in the mix too, Bezoza. I think Wanye is probably your swing tackle, but shoot, at this point, I'm not going to rule anybody out. Yeah, he was a UDFA in 2022. I remember he was a UDFA. I just couldn't remember what year. Yep, Hunter Norzad, all right. So you got Kingsley. It's Kingsley, and he's going to be good, said HL Nub. Love that. That's the hope. Like, if Kingsley is a average to above average guard this year, his first year, that's a big old win. That's a big win for the line. AJ said, why would the Giants throw garbage at you, while they're trash themselves? I think he meant they're going to throw themselves at him. No, I'm just playing. I actually don't mind Giants fans. I don't mind them. I don't have a problem with a lot of fans, to be honest with you. The only ones, it's like, Bengals fans have calmed down because they really haven't done.
In a couple of years. Oh, I hit the wrong button. Oh my gosh, I'm a robot. Dude, did you guys see the Wild Robot movie?
Dude, I was definitely supposed to say that the Bengals haven't done in a couple of years, but I definitely turned on my robot voice. Dude, I'm a robot. We watched the Wild Robot this weekend with our kids. That was a pretty good movie. I'm not going to lie. I didn't know what to expect. It says robot, but it does kind of sound like helium. Helium is this one.
Hey guys, how's it going? This is a robot.
Okay, let's turn that off. Enough with the voices. What's up, second place? He said it's been a while. Yeah, we just in here doing voices. I hit the wrong button. Yeah, I don't have a problem with a lot of fans, I guess. I mean, Bengals, they chirped a lot, but they haven't done anything in a couple of years. I have a lot of fun with Raiders fans and any fan in our fans in our division. I saw the Wild Robot when it first came out. And it made you cry. It did not make me cry But it was a good kids movie, man. It was like well done. Robot is helium on roids. You went to a Raiders game in LA with your brother back in the early 90s. We had to have armed guards escort us in and out of the Coliseum. That's crazy. What is a robot movie about? It's like a cartoon. A robot gets like washed up to shore and ends up needing to take care of a bird. And they like, the robot's like mom and raises the bird. It's way better than I just explained it, but that's kind of like the loose description of the movie. But it's like, there's a lot of stuff to it, and it's very, very well written. Pedro Pascal is in that. He plays the fox. Mark Hamill is the bear. If you guys know those guys, a lot of you know Pedro, but a lot of you know Mark Hamill. Star Wars, Luke. Wonder if you can imitate the voice of Kermit. I cannot flip. Do you think Mahomes will actually throw deep this year? Honestly, yeah, I think that was part of the plan last year. But you lose Rice, you lose Hollywood, you lose Pacheco, so all the explosion in the offense kind of goes away. And then Worthy's still a rookie, and you don't have a solid left tackle option. So you didn't really have time in the pocket to throw it deep. And even when you did have time, Mahomes wasn't always himself. Sometimes he was just off. Sometimes he was just seeing ghosts when there weren't any, thinking that he was going to get hit because he was the most hit quarterback in the league last year. So the question about him throwing deep this year, honestly, I think it's only up from here. His like air yards per attempt, all that stuff it was lower than ever last year because of the quick passing game, having to combat the O-line issues and not having a very explosive offense. Rice, Hollywood, Pacheco were three of your most explosive players. And Worthy, yes, but he was still a rookie. Like they were trying to use him and he just wasn't quite ready. You really saw Worthy start coming alive the second half of the season. Yeah, Casey's in here. Where are you at? Hi, Casey. What are you doing? Oh, she's got her green bone. Let's see if I can, she gets a bone every night. Can I turn this to, oh. No. You guys can still hear me. Hold on. I thought I could turn on the phone, but I guess not. Okay. I was trying to show y'all. Sometimes my phone will turn into a camera, but it's not liking that today. She's just chewing on her little bone. Oh, here we go. What's taking so long, phone? All right, never mind. No soup for you. No soup for you. Sorry, guys, you don't get to see Casey. Who do you think will be the biggest surprise this year? I'm going to go with one that I hope would be one of the biggest surprises this year, and Elijah Mitchell. Because if Elijah Mitchell can stay healthy, that's the former 49er running back that didn't play at all last year because of a really bad hamstring injury. That would do wonders for the running back room. I would love that. That was just one that came to mind. It's kind of glitchy on the Mac sometimes. I don't know. Sometimes normally my phone will become a camera, but it didn't really like that this time. So, not really sure. Hello, darkness, my old friend. Man, he said, no soup for you. Yeah, no soup. Extra trolls. Yeah, a lot of trolls on there. I want the Chiefs to wear white helmets this year. I wish. They don't have alt helmets right now. They're pretty traditional in that regard. Being so crazy you have to have a jail in your stadium is not the flex you think it is. Who has a jail in their stadium? Doesn't the Chiefs have a jail in their stadium? I think a lot of stadiums have like a little like area for like a holding area. for drunk people, basically, right? Are you using an NDI capture with your setup? Nah, it's just connects wirelessly through this app that I bought, and it connects with Ecamm. It's not through NDI though. Yeah, it's like a drunk tank. Don't most stadiums have those? I feel like most stadiums have those. Jason, what's up, man? Awesome to see you live. What's up? Good to see you. You have any plans to stream any games with Tom or Perna this year? And you going to any games at Arrowhead? My goal is always to go to one a year. That's the plan. I don't know which game yet. I don't know if I have any. I don't have any like plans to stream with Tom or Perna, but that would be a lot of fun. Me and Perna talked about doing a Chiefs and Broncos game last year. It didn't work out, but we could definitely do one this year. I would not be opposed at all. I'd be honored. On the Mac, you can route your whole webcam through your iPhone natively. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Philly has jail and a courtroom. Oh, in their stadium? And a courtroom? Wow. What? That's crazy, actually. Royals got clapped today, did they? Royals score 7-2. God bless. By the Reds. The Cincinnati Reds. How's Danny? She's good. Yeah. She's doing really well. The kids are well. They just finished school. So they're out on summer break. They're getting ready for the pool life this summer. I see you swapped your white helmet with the red one. You know what that has done, by the way? This camera has not lost focus. You know how this camera often loses its focus and it focuses on the white helmet back there? Switching back to the red one, which I don't like as well. I like the white one on the white end table thing, but I have had no focus issues at all. If the Chiefs wear all white uniform with a white helmet, it'll be so dope. Dashing through the snow. Yeah, man. White on white with a white helmet would be crazy. That means your face is too white, said Matt. Yeah, I think it thinks the white helmet is my face. But I'm like, I'm not that white. Come on, dude. I am not that white. That's crazy. That's some crazy talk right there. Paint the stand red. Good. 2 years ago, when we beat the Eagles and I took off my Chiefs jersey the moment I got to Philly for my birthday. Well, that's probably a good idea. Some fans are crazy, dude. I think red is nice on the table. Hello. Okay, you like the red? I don't mind it. I mean, it's the traditional Chiefs helmet. This was a gift from Chiefs Vids. It's a signed Isaiah Pacheco helmet. It says Merry Christmas, Cole, on it. I was like, oh, that's cool. Pretty cool. That's what changed. The camera doesn't think there's a free-floating head behind you. Yeah, and the fact that it thinks the white helmet behind me could potentially be my face, it's just so disrespectful. Like, I get that I'm pale. I know that I'm Irish. I understand, but I'm not that pale. Are you serious? That's insane. Mahomes stat prediction. We talked about this last week, and I think as long as he gets around, or I think he could easily get around like that 4,400 yard mark. That'd be a pretty good one. About 35 TDs, 35, 40. He's had a couple down years, I know, just from a statistical standpoint. Some of that has been just talent / injuries. Some of it's been, I mean, it's pretty complex. They haven't really had a solid left tackle in a couple years. The Tony G helmet is right there. You can actually see it. It's right there, right at the edge. You see it? I switched just the white and the red one. That's all I did. Cole blends into the table. Look, see? Well, my hands aren't really that red in real life. It's my Sony cameras. See? We fine. Let's go. Go. What's up, Xavier? With the 31 months. It's about that time. Who's your must-watch players going into the season? Fam has been great. Yeah, we are doing awesome over here. We live close to my grandma, so we've been seeing her a lot too. The Sir Ayo. Haven't caught a live in a stream in a while. Good to see you, man. Heck yeah. Good to see you in here. Hope you're doing well. Okay, Xavier, thanks for the 31 months. Must-watch players going into the season. I mean, to some extent, I'm always curious to see how some of the rookies will do. But then it's just like, for me, it's like, how is Pacheco going to look post-injury, just further removed? Is he going to get some of that explosiveness back? How about Rice coming off the season-ending knee injury? How's he going to look? How's Hollywood going to look integrated into this offense? Are they going to use him more like we thought they were going to use him before he went down to injury? What about Worthy stepping up into year 2 in the offense? Those are some of the guys for sure, but then Christian Fulton is a must-watch for me on defense, because if he can be just that pretty solid CB2, CB3 on defense, and McDuffie can kick inside to the slot anytime because you've got Fulton, you've got Jalen Watson and Noel Williams if you had to early. You don't want to lean on a rookie a lot in Spags' defense early, but that's going to help the defense quite a bit as well. I'm trying to think any other players. I mean, can Omar Norman Lott be a threat in the interior? Like, I need to see him kind of come alive. I'm watching him for sure. Noel Williams, said Matt with the thumbs up. I met your grandma while her front porch anyway. Yes, sir, Dave. If Mahomes has another down year with everyone fully healthy, is it safe to say he's washed? No, I don't think so. I think he's a top QB in the NFL, especially when you're diving into the advanced analytics. Nobody can... He had the second highest EPA per play on 3rd and 4th down last year. So down from a statistical perspective, but when you actually dive into the advanced analytics, he's still one of the best in the business. The year before, the wide receiver room led the league in drops. You know, it's just kind of one thing after another, but at the end of the day, if the line holds up, he's kind of able to do whatever. So just get the line to hold up this year, and I think they're going to be just fine. Cole, I love the hoodie. Do you sell those? I do not, Audra. I got this for Christmas in like 2015, 2016. Can't find them anymore. They're like nowhere to be seen. I've literally taken this jacket off. We've read the brand on the back, and they don't make it anymore. I think we've emailed the brand. Cook going to step up with Reed being gone. That's a must-watch player for me in the safety room. Can Jaden Hicks fill the void left behind by Justin Reed? I think he has to. They're high on the guy. I think he really has to. You can't quantify Mahomes' football IQ and playmaking ability when it comes. Yeah, and it's just, there's a lot of the stuff we don't even see. He wants the play call. That's why he's always doing this. He wants the play call in his ear because he wants to go to the line and kind of dissect the defense pre-snap. He's doing that a lot, setting his team up for success. That's why they're one of the most efficient teams, one of the best teams on 3rd down. They had the most 10-plus play drives ending in points last year because, they didn't have the explosiveness, but Mahomes was like, all right, fine. We'll just matriculate the ball down the field. We'll be effective. We'll move the chains, and we'll get down there and score some points. And, I mean, there's just so... Look at... Andy Reid was 1-4 in the playoffs with the Chiefs before Mahomes. I mean, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Thanks for the shout out. Heck yeah, Audra. No worries at all. Hey, I know why the NFL has the Chiefs. The Chiefs play a game on every Christmas day because their uniforms are red. Like, here comes Santa. I'll take that. I feel like the Chiefs want to play every year on Christmas. The NFL doesn't want to do that per se, but they want to play teams that are going to get a bunch of views. And love the Chiefs, hate the Chiefs, you're probably going to watch. If you hate the Chiefs, which a lot of people do, you're going to watch because you want them to lose. If you're a Chiefs fan or enjoy the Chiefs, which they have a lot of Chiefs fans, Swifties, all of it, the Army, everybody, Chiefs Kingdom combined, you want them to win. So a lot of people are going to tune in. Lamar Hunt wanted the 3rd Thanksgiving game every year. Was it the 3rd Thanksgiving game every year, or did he want Christmas every year? I thought he wanted Christmas. He probably wanted Thanksgiving as well. Hicks had the most interceptions last year and only played less than half the defensive snaps. Jaden Hicks led the defense in interceptions? I'm looking that up. That's crazy. I don't feel like they had a ton of interceptions, so was he like, maybe he was first with McDuffie? Oh, no, he had 3. Jaden Hicks had 3 interceptions. Shamari Connor had 2. Jay Reed had 2. McDuffie had 2. B. Cook had 2. That's crazy. That is crazy. Yeah, he's not washed. Nah. If the Chiefs start blowing out teams, you think people will still complain about the refs? Yeah. Yes, because that's just what people do. If the team you want to lose wins so much, they refuse to just give that team credit. They refuse to say, oh, they have one of the best coaching staffs in the entire NFL, best quarterback in the game, best tight end. They play really well under pressure. They don't make a lot of mistakes. They would just rather blame the refs. Now, if the Chiefs won by 30, would it help a little bit? So the games weren't so close down to the wire, and maybe a flag gets thrown and then everybody's like, oh, it's the refs. Yeah, it would probably help a little bit. But the best teams in the NFL overcome the officiating. The officiating is not great. It's never been super consistent. The Chiefs have just typically been able to overcome that. I said that after the loss to the Eagles because some Chiefs fans are saying, oh, it was the refs. Dude, what? It wasn't the refs. The Eagles kicked their... What are we talking about? But the best teams can overcome bad officiating, and the Chiefs typically are able to do that. But I'm not... The refs? Come on. Nah, we good. I was laughing at your short video about the schedule and the Chiefs is going against Cowboys and CD's nuts. Yeah. We always make that video every year, and there's always comments like, the Chiefs don't have an easy schedule. I'm like, bro, I make this video every year. It's just for fun. Just for fun. 20 old enough said safety is a point of weakness in the squad. Yeah, I think probably the two biggest questions for me if I had to pick, I'd go safety with Justin Reed gone and then left guard with Tooney gone. I agree with you because cornerback got better for sure. I have no big expectations for this year, only that our O-line is okay and we win much more competitive division. That is the AFC West. The AFC West. 100%. Yeah, if the O-line holds up, I would love to not win every game. Well, okay. I would love to win every game. I would just love for all the games, most of the games, to not be like a 1 point, 2 point, 3 point game. Can we win some by 10, 13, 17, and just relax? That would be fun. You like the short video? Man, it's funny. I always love reading the comments on those because it's clearly a joke. I'm just trolling around. I'm just having fun. We do that every year. Of course the Chiefs' schedule is not easy. Of course some of those games are going to be tough. Complainers are going to complain 1,000%. The defense is going to be hard to throw against. Ball hawk here. Please, Stanley. Please. Cole, can you imagine if the Chiefs had a deflate gate like the Patriots? Oh, yeah. People would melt down. And that we score more than 30? Yeah. That would be nice. I mean, I literally said if the Chiefs want to beat the Eagles, I think I said my prediction. I was just like, I'm going 31-27 Chiefs because I think in order to beat the Eagles in the Super Bowl, you have to put up over 30. A pick six didn't help, and having the worst offensive performance ever maybe for Patrick Mahomes in that first half did not help either. But you had to do two things to win that game. Win the turnover battle and score at least 30. They did not. It was not even close. I agree, Cole. Being up by 2-point conversion would be ideal, but for that to happen, our offense will have to get to the end zone sooner rather than later. Yeah, I mean, there's a few things I hope they change this year to last, but some of that's just, if they just stay healthy, it'll happen. It'll happen if they just stay healthy. I remember when a successful season was beating Oakland twice. Yeah, how the times have changed. I mean, we're kind of nitpicking as Chiefs fans these days. It's like, oh, I just hope they don't win by 3. Okay. I mean, there's been so many seasons throughout Chiefs history where, yeah, we just wanted them to beat the Broncos once, the Raiders once, and that was like our highlight. Yeah, we're definitely nitpicking, but you have to admit those games were stressful. And if the Chiefs were firing on all cylinders from a health standpoint, they probably wouldn't have been that close. If the Chiefs refuse to throw deep this year, I'll never watch another game for the rest of the season. All right, fair enough. Holy smokes, I hope they throw deep for your sake, man. The Chiefs' success will depend on the O-line. Yep, defense will be fine. I think the defense will be even better, Darth Mao. All the offensive weapons are only useful if Mahomes has time to get the ball to him. 1,000%. And then can you establish a somewhat explosive run game as well, please? What do you think of the success of the team if we didn't draft Mahomes? I mean, you wouldn't be in a current dynasty. It definitely helps to draft a generational quarterback. I call BS on risk takers take. Oh, you think he won't? You think he will still watch the games even if the Chiefs don't throw deep a bunch? Yeah, I don't think the Chiefs would be in the midst of a dynasty. I don't even know if they would get to the Super Bowl without Mahomes. People say, oh, he's carried by Reid. Again, Andy Reid. Love Andy Reid. Great coach. One of the greatest of all time. But he was 1-4 in the playoffs, man, before Mahomes. So I think they make each other better. But Mahomes definitely took things to the next level. We all know that. Looking forward to seeing what all these Hall of Fame coaches throw at us this year. Most stacked coaching division ever. Pete Carroll, Harbaugh. Who am I missing? Sean Payton and Andy Reid. Crazy. Mahomes was a diamond in the rough. Yeah, I mean, he had concerns coming out of college. People were kind of worried about his just off-script gunslinger mentality. Would he be able to hone that in, and would it translate at a high level in the NFL? There was some concerns there, which is why other quarterbacks went before him. But the Chiefs saw it. They went up to get him. 10th overall. Boom. All she wrote. Let's freaking go. Boy said, yeah, PTSD from Mahomes is inaccurate deep shots to wide open receivers and Worthy not keeping his foot in bounds is kicking in. Yeah, there was definitely a couple shots down the field where Worthy ran out of bounds. Definitely a couple of those Mahomes probably could have been more on the money. And then there was just a couple, maybe even more than a couple, that Mahomes just like flat out missed. There was one for sure that he missed. He wasn't able to step into a throw, but he's made those throws no look or throwing off his back leg as he gets tackled out of bounds. I mean, he's done it before. He's much more calculated now, but at times I think Matt Nagy might have said it too. He's reading everything pre-snap, and there are things that happen that he expects the defense to do because he's expecting perfect coverage, and sometimes he's overthinking things. Like, I think Mahomes even said that after he was asked about it. He's like, yeah, based on coverage, I'm expecting the defense to do something, so I'm automatically going away from that read. But he's like, sometimes I just got to give my guys a chance, or I also need to understand that just because I'm seeing a coverage a certain way doesn't mean that defense is actually going to execute it perfectly. And there is room for error, and there's room to take advantage of that too. And that's the risk taker that we saw early on in Mahomes' career, and he's kind of dialed that down rather. He's more calculated, doesn't like to take as much risk because the Chiefs have had such a great defense for the last few years in particular that he just needs to move the chains and get down the field and put up some points, and the defense will pretty much hold it down. What do you think Worthy's ceiling is? I don't know. I think if he has a solid sophomore year this year, he could be pushing, I don't know if he hits 1,000, but he'd be close. He'd be up there. But ceiling? Not sure. That's a tough one. He's only going to get better. I see this new touchback rule changing things up. Average starting line 35 to 40. Average landing zone 5 to 10. Yeah, because they moved the touchback from the 30 to the 35. It's going to be very interesting. I'd like to see Mahomes be a bit more risky, said second place. He's turned into a little more of a game manager with our defense. Not his fault. It's a smart play, and it's mostly paid off. Yeah, I think when we look at that and just realize, man, they made it to 3 Super Bowls in a row. It's not as exciting, quote unquote, and sexy. You're not getting 50-yard bombs left and right and putting up 40 points a game, but you don't have to anymore because the defense is just way better. Think about 2018. Wasn't that the year the Chiefs defense gave up almost 30 points a game? I mean, they had to score 40 to win some of those games. They had to do it. Former player that's still active, you wish was on the team. Former player that's still active. I mean, Tyreek Hill does come to mind, even though I understand the trade. They used all those picks, and they've been to every Super Bowl without him. It was a good shift for Mahomes, to be honest with you. But I'm saying if you could bring back an active player, off the field drama aside, he would be fun. What are some other former active players? I mean, I always like seeing D-Rob, Byron Pringle. Like D-Rob, I would have liked to see him come back this year. He signed elsewhere. I can't even remember where he is now. He's not with the Rams anymore. I don't remember where he ended up going. Willie Gay, yeah, that's a good one. He's with Miami now. Trying to think of anybody else. He signed with the 49ers? Nice. Yeah, that's a good get for the Niners. They need the help. You traded Debo. Ayuk's coming off the serious knee injury. Justin Reed. Oh, my mind was going past like players who just left. So I was trying to think back further than that. Snead, that's a good one. Honey Badger. Yeah. Yep, good old Tyron. That'd be a good one. Sutton was horrible those years. Mahomes had to be Superman. He didn't have a choice. Exactly. Ooh, Charvarius Ward, man. That'd be a good one, too. I'm really happy for... I'm not happy for Charvarius Ward in the situation, but he lost his daughter last year, I think, and he just was like, I can't play here anymore. He's with the 49ers. He's like, I need a fresh start. And he's with the Colts now, I believe. So I'm happy that he's getting a fresh start elsewhere. He can kind of just... You'll never be over such a traumatic thing that happened. I mean, that's just awful. Honestly, it's my worst nightmare and fear as a parent. But the fact that he did get to start fresh somewhere else and just start a new chapter after the awful year he had last year, like I am happy for him with that. Eric Berry would be awesome. Dude, I just still heard people saying the Cowboys are still America's team. I don't deal. Here's the thing, like the Cowboys still have a huge draw. They're one of the most watched teams still in the NFL, and they haven't made a deep playoff run since I was like 5 years old. Bossa's our new Willie Gay. To not get eaten alive by mediocre tight ends and running backs is going to be wonderful. I like that a lot. Yeah, because he's a converted safety as well. That's life after Drew Tranquil for sure. Heck yeah. Well, guys, thanks so much for hanging out. It's 10 o'clock. I'm going to call it. Going to go watch a show or something and then go to bed. But OTAs is tomorrow. We've got, if anything comes out worth talking about, I'll make a video. But we have Mahomes and Andy Reid and others speaking to the media on Thursday. So I'll definitely be doing a video then as well. Thanks for dealing with the technical difficulties at the beginning of the first stream that I had to turn off, and then we had to make a new one. But I appreciate each and every one of you. Thanks, mods, for holding it down. Thanks for all the memberships, the dono bombs, the questions, and just hanging out. I always look forward to these Tuesday night Q&As, and we are getting closer to real football. 100 days away until the season opener, and I can't wait. So until next time, let's go. Let's freaking go.
How about those Chiefs?